A full film analysis with neuropsychology and other input from theory and philosophy and other parts of colleges and universities would be more beneficial after peace returns to planet Earth now in the United States of America. And here in Seattle, Washington, on Capitol Hill, fresh air to open my window now. These people, these folks, these humans who have a goal to end death of an ethnic, letter, word, a part of world, and suffering and capitalism and confusion have already failed their objective. With the speed with which the violence they're advocating as justified and righteous in consciousness they claim to be providing with having folks and people and humans in a city or civilization have better insight to the suffering they say with the information they give. And leave out now. They're not talking about 50 shootings in Seattle. They're not talking about thousands of deaths in Chicago. They're talking about a man with a knife in a domestic disturbance who ran towards an officer of a police department and was shot to stop his aggression. Aggression and consciousness are stimulation. Peace and consciousness are brain, body, energy, sleep, and work for a civilization with elderly care, neurosurgery clinics with no mold causing infections in a children's hospital, engineering to clean the air so there's not a fire every single year for weeks. Language and behavior our confusion. Language and emotion can be reward, stimulation, and misdirection. Consciousness almost nearly reaches limits objectively with magic. For safety and security purposes, with people who carry guns and have black belts in martial arts and rapists and UFC fighters who demand sex from women and dominance in bars. Now, artificial consciousness with Westworld would be more beneficial for those who are going to Facebook and organizing events to elect a new socialist leader, a communist supporter. And not saying to those voters, where they stand with behavior, psychology, and stimulation and reward, and especially consciousness. Smoothing out rough edges, on a building and making everything smooth and white. Has a similar effect as a hospital. However, when a person leaves a hospital and enters civilization, a world, or wherever they live now, they have to find food, they have to find a place to sleep. They have to be warm when they have a risk for hypothermia, and they have to be in a home or building protecting them from smoke from a wildfire when there's a need. Now, time has more to do with the smoothed out edges and hospital effect of what a green world explains in the words of senators and government officials, House elected officials who want every building green, every place better now. Eventually, there's no more energy to provide. Nobody acknowledges stimulation. Nobody acknowledges reward. Nobody talks about behavior and a psychology from when people did tests on monkeys and rats and experiments on humans in wars. in cities like San Francisco with LSD, and have made propaganda about UFOs and aliens. Similar to cognitive dissonance in the brain, confusion, misdirection, paranoia, and old cannabis posters. The focus and the concentration are on a problem. But a problem with behavior and punishment require more than intelligence, brilliance, and genius making a poster to get people to join a fist-raising 3-word organization with a 1-word army full of soldiers and warriors and hardworking women with combat boots now. A problem I'm describing with behavior and punishment only gets eliminated from what needs to be accomplished for children and babies to have a better future than those who are living now with climate change and wildfires and pandemics and violence and rioting and breaking windows and shutting down businesses and graffitiing everywhere now. Courage in a war helps a soldier get home to their family or home or where they're living now. Courage in civilization inspires a person to learn when there's no classroom and read when there's no certainty for tomorrow now. Sick with cancer. And with courage, there's honor. And honor has been described and written about to motivate and inspire peace and calm. Integrity. And love.